Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Tony Shen. I'm back at it like a crack addict, back with another FL Studio stock plugin tutorial. This is my most poppin' series. If you're new to this channel, this is basically a series where I make beats only using stock plugins and other easily accessible sounds that are free. I use my own drum kits that are free for guests to download. Link in the description below. Tony Shen Slap Pack Volume 1 through 3. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to make an NBA YoungBoy type beat. If you got black Air Force Ones on, get ready because we're going in for an adventure. This is a highly requested video from my subscribers, so this one goes out to you guys. Now, before I begin, I just have a quick announcement. I know this is a very beginner-oriented channel, so I know a lot of you guys feel more comfortable if you had the project file that I work with during these tutorials so that you guys can deconstruct these or have access to the beat, or even if you want to use the beat or record artists over it, like I'm completely fine with that. All you have to do to get access to the actual project file that I make during this tutorial, follow me on Instagram, link in the description below, send me a quick DM with your email and let me know like which tutorial, like which beat you want, and I will send you the FLP along with like the zip loop. And because we're using stock plugins, you guys should have access to, like, you guys should be able to access every single sound being used in this project file. So if that's something you're interested in, just follow me on Instagram, send me a quick DM with your email address and again with like which project you want, like which beat you want, and if I see it, I'll get to you as fast as possible, but I'll email you the entire project file. So with that being said, let's get straight into the NBA YoungBoy type beat. So first we're gonna open up Flex. I know some of you guys like don't have access to Flex, so I will from now on I will try to rely less on Flex, but I just think that their Essential Pianos plugin is just one of like the most realistic sounding plugins out of all the stock plugins that FL Studio gives. So when we make other beats, like other type beats, I'll try to rely less on Flex, but with NBA YoungBoy, I think it's very essential that we have access to like a really nice grand piano sound at least, right? So let's go into Flex, and the first thing I want to pull up is the Essential Pianos Grand Piano. So that's like the sound it makes. So let's start with our piano melody. Before we even start with the piano melody, let's just set the tempo, right? So I'd say like 155 to like 160-ish. It's a little bit more upbeat. It's a little bit more clubby, but it's got that bounce, right? So start with like 155 to like, let's just 158. And then you want to come up with a very, very hard melody, right? So with the grand piano, very hard melody. Just think of like very like dark, intense, like I'm going to punch you in the face, like think of that like that guy when you're playing pickup basketball with the black Air Force Ones, like swinging their elbows around and like 8 flagrant fouls in one pickup game. Like think of that type melody, right? Think of that type of energy. So bum 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 bum. Copy that a little bit. Sounds pretty hard, right? Okay, and to make it sound a little darker, what I would do is highlight all of this. So hold Control, drag, highlight, hold Shift, and copy that, and then hold Control down to pitch down an octave. So essentially what we're doing is just doubling the melody and then pitching it an octave down. So when you have a lower layer octave, it gives it like kind of like a darker sound, especially on the piano, right? Now we want to make this melody sound a little more alive, because right now it just sounds like it's very programmed. It sounds like a robot. It sounds like Wally's playing this melody, right? So what you want to do is kind of like just make things a little different and randomize some things a little bit, just to account for like human error and just to make it sound a little bit more alive, right? So Alt R to open the randomizer tool. It's something that I really like doing. and just play with the velocity. Like, so bipolar just means that like it'll randomize it up and down, versus like if you didn't have, it will only like turn things down if you turn the velocity down, or turn things up if you turn the velocity up. So bipolar just makes it a little bit more random. So I like using bipolar when humanizing the velocities, right? So with that, like all the notes are gonna hit slightly differently at different like volumes, right? Great. And it sounds pretty cool, right? It sounds pretty intense, sounds pretty dark. But to make this even a little bit darker, let's route this to the mixer. So select it in the channel rack, move this to the mixer, and then Control L or Command L if you're on Mac, right? And what that does is it links to the mixer, and what we're gonna do is EQ it a little bit. So with EQ, you can kind of change the tone and just like the color of the sound, right? First, I want to cut out all of the bass because I don't want to interfere with my 808 when it comes in. And when I start adding the bass. And the second thing is you want to filter out some of the highs, right? It just makes it sound a little darker. And turn down some of the highs. Right? And then let's add a little bit of reverb just to open it back up just a little bit. And I don't want to drench this in reverb. I don't want to make this sound like an Millennium song, right? So to do that, just to mix it in just a little bit, turn down the wet knob, and then maybe turn the size up just a little bit. It's a really subtle difference, but I think it opens up the sound a little bit more, and it just adds a little bit more of that energy. Okay, so with that, the piano melody, that's kind of like your base layer of melody, right? Now let's start adding up like additional stuff. So like this might be like when the verse comes in, right? But when the hook comes in, maybe you want like a little bit more element. So up next, we're gonna add a pizzicato string. For this sound, I'm using Citrus. So Citrus is one of those plugins where it doesn't matter which version of FL Studio you have to have Citrus. Like it's a free plugin that every FL Studio user has. And I went to the presets and then went to orchestra and then pizzicato. So now that we picked the sound, let's go into the melody. With the melody, I kind of want to like add some emphasis on the down, right? With the pizzicato, I kind of want some like chords playing in the beginning to just emphasize that downbeat, that one where it hits in the beginning, right? So bum 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 bum. I'm just kind of hearing notes in the head like where I wanted to start, right? Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Oh, nope. Let's go. Let's go. Maybe pitch it up an octave. So again, Command up if you're on Mac, Control up if you're on Windows. Yeah. And I want to make this sound a little bit more distorted and just make it sound a little bigger, right? And just have like more emphasis. So there's a few things we could add. One is just a little bit of distortion just to bring out the high ends and make it sound a little bit more intense, right? So let's go to Fruity Fast Distort. Yeah, you can tell it makes it just sound like a little bit more, it just makes it sound like kind of monstery. And add some reverb just to widen it up, because this sounds kind of dry right now. So this one we can make it a little bit more wet because we want like to sustain a little bit and have a bigger tail. Yeah. And then a little bit more EQ. And then I'd even bring out the lower mids a little bit just to make it sound a little more bright, because I want it to cut through the piano. Yeah. And then this is already automatically linked to Route 2, but just for good sakes, Control L to link it here. And then up next, the last melodic element I want to add to this beat is like a little tail at the end that goes back into the one, right? So for this, we're going to use the violas from Flex. This is from Essential Strings. It's just a free library, and then some staccato violas, right? So with this, I just kind of want to like emphasize the ending melody of like your main piano melody. So bum 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 bum. Uh-oh, why is it sliding? I don't want it to slide. Bum 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 bum. And for this, I wanted to sound a little bit bigger as well, so we're going to copy the same. We're going to use it, so we're going to apply the same technique that we did with the piano of doubling. So just shift, drag, that copies it, and then just control up or command up if you're on Mac. Kind of brings it back up and kind of like goes back into the one. And then let's link this to the the mixer track. So again, highlight this, Control L or Command L if you're on Mac. Yep. Let's do some EQ again. Cut out the lows and then maybe bring out some of the highs. And then again, a little bit of reverb just to spice it up a little bit, just to make it sound a little bigger. And then another thing you could add is like, you hear how it kind of like just dies out at the end, it just kind of cuts off abruptly. Right? If you wanted to kind of like sustain a little bit longer, you could add a little bit of delay so that it kind of like holds on. So Fruity Delay 2 works just fine, but if you have Fruity Delay 3, you could use that as well. But yeah, let's go for like a little ping pong delay so it kind of goes on both ends. And then time, I kind of want like a triplet delay will work well. By default, it's a triplet delay, but let's just go with like 4. That's the input volume, so turn that down a little bit. Turn the feedback volume down just a little bit as well. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Turn it down a little bit. Yeah. Now we have the melody. Let's work on the drums. So Tony Shen's, so let's go to the drum kit that, like I said in the beginning of the video, is free for all you guys to download. Tony Shen Slapback Volumes 1 through 3 are all free for you guys to download. So it's in a link in the description below. So let's start with a clap first. Ooh, I really like this clap. So let's just copy this. Let's set this to step just to make it a little easier. Some hi-hats, chill hi-hat, and then we can just fill 2 steps. This one's a little off time. Command Q, Control Q to quantize it to the grid. This one off time too. This off time too. Let's find a hard 808. Ooh, that's pretty hard. The hydro is pretty hard too. Ooh, the back fist goes pretty hard. So with this NBA YoungBoy Type Beat, like you want that energy, right? You want that bounce. And sometimes like programming it, you kind of lose that human touch because you're just kind of like get used to programming at certain, like, for example, like I was just like went to the step sequencer and like kind of programmed this. Eventually like it gets kind of boring, right? Just because like you're programming the same thing and it gets like repetitive. So what I like to do sometimes is just record it manually and just determine like the 808 bounce off like my own bounce, right? So turn the metronome on. Right now I'm just pressing the Q key because that defaults to C5. I'm not gonna worry about the pitch of the 808 just yet. I'll kind of explain that after, but first we're just kind of getting the idea of the bounce, right? So I'm just recording in just for like that rhythm. So let's go here. Notes and automation, hit play, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then obviously I'm very off time. Like my drumming is like just the worst. Like my sense of like rhythm is just the worst. So I'm just gonna Command Q or Control Q if you're on Windows, and then that quantizes it to the grid. So yeah, that just basically aligns it with the grid so it's on time. And then Command L or Control L if you're on Windows, and that links all the notes together. So yeah, now let's focus a little bit on like actual like the melody and stuff. But just a few things before, just to prep it. Make sure it's in the right key, right? So Command E to open up Edison, or Control E if you're on Windows, and then go to Detect Pitch Region. And as you can tell, it's C2 already, so it's already tuned to C by default. FL Studio tunes all your notes to C as a root note. But if that flag thing, instead of saying C2, said like C, like E2 or something, then you would like tune it to a E, right? Or right click on the E. But we're just gonna leave it at C because it's already tuned to the right root note. All of my 808s should be tuned to C, so you really don't have to worry about this step if you're using my 808s. Next step is to manipulate the envelope. So do this, just create this box thing. It just gives you more control over like the release time of your 808 so that, you know, your 808s don't like leak into each other and make it all muddy and stuff like that. Now let's focus on the melody of the 808. Now this, like, I feel like most people who kind of like if you've seen my other videos before and you kind of see how the way I work with 808s and like how I just arrange the pattern, this is where like some issues might rise because like I started the piano melody just like from the melody and just doubled the melody. You want to make sure that like you're in the right key, right? And if I just copied my melody from the piano, that could work. However, I know that the key I'm playing in is in a C minor, so this will technically sound more correct. And now, how do I know it's a C minor? I have tutorials on like basic music theory and scales and stuff like that, and like how to find scales and how to like make 808 melodies and stuff like that. If you want to learn more about that, I'm putting it in the card in the video so you guys can see it. But yeah, so for now I'm just going to kind of like create this 808 melody, assuming that you guys kind of like have an idea of basic music theory and like where to place the 808. So boom, boom. And then maybe have this like a high pitched, just to give it that more energy. Yeah. And then next, let's add a kick. I'm kind of just gonna double the pattern, like the rhythm, follow the rhythm of the 808. So maybe add some additional kicks just for like increased bounce, you know. Oops, missed. Following the 808. Boba break. Ooh, that's some good boba. Now let's add some open hats. Just I like putting it like sometimes like a solid place for me to put open hats is right before the clap. Yeah. can kind of just copy this for the next 4. Yeah, that was add a snare. I like putting the snares where like all the other percussive elements aren't, so just fill up space, right? So here, like, yeah. Woo! That's hard. Okay, so now let's just select all the drums in the channel rack, and then Control Shift L or Command Shift L if you're on Mac. That links multiple to multiple mixers. And the hi-hat's kind of loud right now. It's just too much in your ear, so let's turn that down a little bit. I like putting the 808 just slightly below the kick. And maybe the snare down a little bit and the open hat down a little bit. It sounds more leveled. Woo! This beat goes so hard. Okay, so now let's put this on the playlist, and then set this to like bar or something so it's easier to arrange. And now let's worry more about arrangement, right? We mixed everything already. We got all the effects. We got the EQ and all of that. We got the drums already mixed for you guys, so you guys don't really have to do much except for like the basic leveling. Right now we just have to arrange. So let's right click the pattern, split by channel. You can delete all that for now. This is a little faster. Just select all of these, then move that here. So now let's just arrange, right? Let's start with the grand piano, and then when the chorus hits, that's when like the most intense part comes in. So yeah, and then maybe start with like the claps, hi-hats, and then the 808, and then the kick maybe comes in here, right? Maybe you want the what's this? Oh, that's the open hat. Yeah. And then cut this out just for that increased drama, right? Like, oh, what happened to the drums? What happened to the drums? Huh? Where did the drums go? Oh. And let's see here. Let's take out all the drums. Maybe just have the 808. Just have the 808. And then comes back in. With the kick too, maybe. And then here, no bass. No bass. Give your ears a little rest, And then just end it right here. And to end it, maybe just fade out the master volume. So select that part, and then right click here, create automation clip, and just bring that down, bring the master volume down. And that kind of fades out. Yes, sir. So now we got an NBA YoungBoy Type Beat. I hope you guys enjoyed making this with me just as much as I enjoyed making it with you guys. This has been a very fun experience. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys found this video to be useful, if you guys watched it all the way to here and learned a few things, please give this channel some support. Hit the like button, drop a comment on what type of artist you want to hear next, and then subscribe if you're new to this channel. It really means a lot to me. And also, don't forget your free drum kits, man. I want to give you guys as many tools as possible for you guys to begin your beat making journey. I just want to, because making music is so special for me. Like, I came up on this like in high school. I discovered FL Studio, just making beats, and it got me through a lot of rough times. And I know how hard life can be, and everything just comes crashing down on you. So just to know, music got me through a lot, and I want to share this remedy with as many people as possible, just to spread positivity and do the right things in life. So if you guys like this channel, please, please, please give it some support. But with that being said, I'm gonna preview the beat for you guys. And again, if you guys want the full project files, the FL Studio project files to this, just follow me on Instagram, link in the description, and then send me a quick DM with your email, and hopefully I get to you as soon as possible. With that being said, here's the beat.